Yes, democracy. We have to rethink democracy. We have to rethink the form of government. What is the character of the people that are in government? With all due respect, most of them should be behind the bar. And that is the truth. Most of them should be behind the bar. Some should even be in the gallows. Now, if these are the people that are ruling us, then what do you expect? It doesn't matter whether you make whatever you make it will not.
Baba Obasanjo is right. He was responding to House of Reps members that visited him to seek his opinion. They are the members that are promoting the single tenure for governors and presidents and rotational presidency, even rotational governorship in different states. They are hoping that this bill will become law so that it will help stop corruption in governance. Many politicians, when they come to power, they corruptly enrich themselves so as to use that money to contest for a second term. But is that the right way to go about it? In fact, Obasanjo stopped short of reprimanding them because they are chasing shadows. If you listen to how Obasanjo's voice changed when he was emphasizing the fact that people that are leading us are people that should be in jail, that some of them should be in the gallows. This is not the root of the problem. This is not the root of corruption. This is not and will never be the solution to the problems we face in Nigeria. Obasanjo is right, like already said. They should tackle the main problems. How do people get elected? The same people, the same Nigerians, the same ethnicities, the same everything. And people think that if you change the system, that magically and miraculously things will change. No. Just like the people who clamor for division of this country, they always shout, divide this country, let everyone go and govern himself. The unity is not working, blah, blah, blah. Is it not the same people that are ruling Nigeria today that will go to the divided nations and start struggling and ruling their separate nations? It's like saying that people are corrupt because they are in Nigeria, that if they go to their separate nations, if Nigeria is divided, people will stop being corrupt. It's like saying if you take a thief from Nigeria to the United States, that the change of environment will make him stop being a thief. That will cure him miraculously from being a thief. It doesn't make any sense. The mentality needs to change. It's time we started admitting the truth in Nigeria. It's time we started facing reality. The only way, the only permanent way to solve a problem is to get to the root of the problem, not trying to solve symptoms of the problem. When you solve the symptoms, they don't eliminate the root cause of the problem. But when you are able to uproot the root cause of the problem is solved. Now, how do you solve endemic corruption? Corruption is a crime against humanity, because if you look at how Nigerians have suffered because of corruption, it leaves no words. The people that are responsible for fighting corruption are the police. So what do you do when the police are also corrupt? The situation looks hopeless, but it's not hopeless. There was a time the United States faced this in the Chicago area. There was serious crimes. The entire police force, nearly all of them were equally corrupt. They didn't know what to do. It was a hopeless situation for them. Till what happened? They got people that were not corrupt at the time, and they had to fight the criminals till they won. So looking at our own situation, how do you fight endemic corruption? It takes you back to the top, because the top commands all the ranks till the lowest of the low, the police, the armed forces, everyone. You need good leadership that is focused on fighting corruption. And before that leadership can fight corruption, they must be corrupt-free themselves. So it takes us back to election, because that's how you elect leaders in Nigeria. Imagine these legislators spend time amending the electoral laws to make sure that things like uploading of results or transmitting of election results are mandatory, things that will make elections free and fair, to make sure that the most popular candidate wins election, that the will of the people manifests in the results that INEC will announce in future elections. It would have been worthwhile instead of wasting time trying to impose term limits or rotational presidency on Nigerians. Like Obasanjo said, although not covered here, it is better to have these as convention, not in the laws, because it will cost Nigeria more to lose people or not have people that are knowledgeable at their own time, in their own generation, to lead the country, because they are trying to observe rotational presidency. That's the problem. So it's better, for the sake of unity, inclusion, all parties have it on convention that the power, especially presidential powers, must move between the north and the south, at least between these two regions. Just make sure the best candidate emerges from the south at all times when it is their turn, likewise in the north. So all these waste of time trying to limit terms, trying to do this, they are just scratching at the surface. They are not going to the root of the problem. Nigerians are educated, they are smart. They can differentiate between two individuals. They can identify a thief, they can identify a gentleman. So if you place the two, majority of them, no matter how you try to induce them, will still vote for the better of the two. So if the electoral process is well organized, it is free and fair, most of these problems will be solved. It has happened before, although not through an election. When Buhari came to power the first time through a coup, Nigerians started queuing at bus stops instead of the usual struggling to get into the bus. Order was restored within a very short time. So it is doable once you have a good leader at the top. That good leadership will trickle down to the bottom. That's how it works. Once the leader is corrupt-free, he will not condone corruption. But if the leader is seriously immersed in corruption, he will simply look away. That's why we have serious corruption in the civil service, in the police. Everywhere you look in Nigeria, there is serious corruption. You will see policemen that are supposed to be protecting citizens. Just because they are armed, they use these arms to terrorize citizens. How do you explain that police set up checkpoints on major highways within Nigeria? Checkpoints that look like you are going into another country. Things you have at the border. Everyone looks away. The politicians, their top commanders, the IG, everyone looks away as if it's nothing. So the problem we have is a leadership problem. Put a good man at the top and things will change miraculously. And before a good man can get to the top, we must change the electoral system. The whole process must be overhauled so that a good man can emerge. If we don't change that, good men will never emerge, because good men don't bribe people to vote for them. If anyone bribes you to vote for him, that means he's making an investment. And when he gets there, he will first of all focus on recovering his investment with benefits. Yes, all investments must come with profits. He will not invest to lose. No one invests in any venture where he will lose. Every business is about making profit. So until we do the right thing, instead of running around in circles, Nigeria will remain the same thing. And it will never change, even if we divide this country into many nations. It won't change, because the mentality is still the same. The same Nigerians will live in the new countries. Let's end with the nationwide hunger protest, which is ending today. As you can see, these are women in Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja. Very few people came out. Enjoy the views.